Scorpio, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. So we're going to do your bonus reading for September. Next door should be sitting your general reading, your overall overview for the month. We're going to try and keep these readings a lot shorter because you know, I don't have time to be doing an hour here, an hour here, an hour there for various readings on YouTube. They're general and yeah, they'll be shorter. So for those of you that have seen these readings from me before on YouTube, if you're checking in again, if you're new, this is a 12 area reading. It's how your ex feels about you. I'm quite a exhaustive tarot reader, so I'm very in depth when I read. We're using the Tarot of Dreams deck, and this reading is only for exes. So if you've got an ex, this is for you, and you want to find out how they feel about you. For some of you it's going to relate, for some of you not, because it is general, so just keep that in mind, guys, okay? As I've said, we're using Tarot of Dreams, Ciro Marchetti, one of my favourite tarot illustrators. Beautiful, beautiful deck. It's one of my newest ones, and I really, really love this deck of cards. We're using, for your clarifier deck, the Handsome Roberts, and we're only going to clarify the reading. The reason why the reading will be shorter is we're only clarifying maybe one or two areas. This is very popular as a personal reading for clients on my website. So usually as a personal reading we clarify all of the areas, and the reading takes about an hour to an hour and a half, okay, on the actual website. So with that being said, we're going to move that here and we're going to unbox this. It's really a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. You can get it on Amazon. Let's take the cards out. This is actually, you actually get 48, no, sorry, not 48, 82 cards within this deck. There's actually 82 of them, but I've taken some out. There's 4 additional cards, and they don't really serve a purpose for me at the moment because I haven't really studied what they are and what they mean in relation to the reading, so I'm not using those at the moment. But you get 82 in this deck. I've taken those 4 additional ones that they've put in, and I'm just using the 78. So we're going to shuffle the cards, Scorpio, and we're going to ask the question. This is a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising signs about how their ex feels about them. Show me who Scorpio's ex is in position 1. Who are they in their lives right now in position 1? Sorry to read if the cards go a bit blurry at first. It's just that when the camera senses me putting cards down, it goes a bit blurry, but it does go back into focus. Position 2, show me what the strengths are of this ex, whether it's good or bad. What are the ex's strengths in position 2? In position 3, can you show me what the weaknesses are for this ex of Scorpio? In position 4, how does Scorpio's ex feel about Scorpio? In position 5, and I'm going to just mess around with the camera a little bit here because what's happening is it looks lopsided. The actual picture on screen looks a little bit lopsided to me. So I'm going to just try and mess around a little bit with this, just so I can get it a bit more. There we go. That looks better. And let's just move this over to the side a little bit here as well, so we've got plenty of room. There we go. Sorry, I'm a little bit picky. Position 5, how does Scorpio feel about the ex? In position 6, what were the strengths in the relationship when Scorpio was with the ex? In position 7, what were the weaknesses in the relationship when they were together? In position 8, what is the likelihood of Scorpio and the ex reconciling? In position 9, just give me an overall analysis of who Scorpio's ex is. In position 10. What are the main blockages to Scorpio and the ex reconciling? In position 11, if Scorpio and the ex were to reconcile, what would be the outcome? And in position 12, if the ex should want to reconcile with Scorpio, what's the advice that you give to Scorpio? What should Scorpio do? There we go. All 12 areas laid down, lovely. And let's make a start on the reading. So I'm just going to get my pointer pen, if I can get to it from here. There we go. And let's have a look. So who are they in their life right now, the ex? The ex is the Two of Cups. The ex might be in a relationship right now because they're showing as being the Two of Cups. And when you're the Two of Cups, you're probably in love with someone. You might be starting to date. The Two of Cups really is weaker than the Lovers. So for me, the Two of Cups is about the start of a relationship sometimes. This card is, or, you know, you've got someone, you've met someone, you feel a real connection. I think that this Scorpio's ex, I think your ex-Scorpio might be in a relationship at the moment, or they might be dating someone at the moment, or they might have met someone that they feel a real connection to. What's their strengths as a person, the Fool? I think with the Fool energy, their strengths are taking risks, because that's what the Fool is. The Fool is a risk taker. The Fool doesn't know much. The Fool is the number one, well, it's 0 in the tarot, in the major arcana. It comes before the Magician. So the Fool's journey is one of kind of starting out on a particular path and then experiencing all the other major arcanas and learning lessons from those. So really their strengths are being the Fool. It's all about new beginnings, fresh starts, and they're not afraid to do that. This person's not afraid to make a fresh start. They're not afraid to leave behind a previous relationship or anything at all in their life, probably. They're not afraid to start over again. That's the Fool energy. What's this person's weakness? Their weakness is the Five of Wands. Okay, so I think with their weakness being the Five of Wands, this person is, it might be that they're quite argumentative with the Five of Wands energy. I think that their weakness is they find it very difficult to back down with the Five of Wands on an argument, because the Five of Wands indicates that you are in a clash with an individual. There's a certain argumentative tone that comes with this card, but really the word is clash and conflict when you come with the Five of Wands. So this person also with the Five of Wands probably finds it very difficult. Their weakness, I think, with this Five of Wands overall is what's the word I'm looking for? It's cooperation, because it can be a cooperative card, the Five of Wands, if it's a team of people working together. But usually in a relationship reading, it's a card that suggests two people who are at war with each other. There's disputes going on within the relationship. And often with the Five of Wands, nobody's willing to back down. Everybody's got their wands in the air. They tend to be, there's a certain sense with this Five of Wands of believing in your own, believing in your own belief system and not wanting to back down on that. So there's a certain, I wouldn't call it a certain arrogance that comes with this card, the Five of Wands Scorpio, but I certainly would say that as a weakness with the Five of Wands, it's about not cooperating, it's about not backing down, it's about not taking the higher road, or it's about not taking the lower road, in fact. This is about saying, look, I'm going to stand, I'm going to stand by my belief system and I'm not backing down on this fight. I think that this person here finds it, their weakness is clash, conflict in relationships or with others. And they find it, this person looks to be very, there's a certain word that comes with this card that I'm looking for. Oh God, what's the word? It's an important word that I really wanted to use here. I can't remember what it is, it evades me. But at the moment, I think that the weakness with this person is that they are very conflictive. I think that this person, I don't know whether they enjoy fighting, but I get this person's not afraid of taking risks. They look like they might be in a relationship or dating someone or have a very strong emotional connection to someone at the moment with the Two of Cups energy. They might even be in love with the Two of Cups energy showing here. But the weakness is with the Five of Wands energy. They find it very difficult to cooperate with that Five of Wands. Okay, they seem quite, I don't know whether the word's arrogant. I don't think the word is arrogant with this Five of Wands energy. I certainly feel that this person finds it difficult to, cooperate. That's the only word I can think of right now. It evades me. There's a certain word that I was looking for this card, for this ex. It's not a very nice word either. If any of you guys can think of a word, then you can probably just put it on the comments. But I think this person finds it difficult to cooperate. If the word comes to me, I'll tell you what it is. How do they feel about you, Scorpio? Temperance is what they feel about you. I think that there is a level of acceptance here concerning you with this temperance energy. I think, you know, when you feel temperance, you feel a certain sense of balance, okay, with the temperance energy. You've managed to balance out the fire and the water energy. So you've managed to balance out your emotions, possibly with your hate or with your anger with the fire energy, and you're kind of like just about at an impasse. And I feel that how they feel about you with the temperance, and also temperance means cool as well. So when you get this card, it can mean that somebody feels very cool towards you. So I feel that this person right now, Scorpio, their feelings have cooled to a certain extent with the temperance energy. It doesn't suggest that they're feeling really out of balance or angry with temperance reversed. It's in the upright. So I think that this person's really kind of on a level about you. I feel that really, in all, when I look at this card, it reminds me of somebody who's accepted a situation. I think that they have accepted the breakdown, the breakup with you, with the temperance energy. How do you feel about them, Scorpio? I think that you're feeling very hurt with this Queen of Swords energy showing here. There's a difference in the energies. There really is for me when I look at these cards. The Queen of Swords, how would you feel as a Queen of Swords? Well, Queen of Swords can be quite blunt. She can get hurt quite a bit because she's a widower within the tarot. But also, you know, some of you guys might not be feeling hurt. The Queen of Swords is also highly analytical. So what she tends to do as a character is desensitize herself emotionally. So for some of you guys, it might not be that you're exactly feeling hurt. It might be that you have also accepted the situation because you have desensitized yourself concerning your feelings. So this is, Queen of Swords is also a card that represents somebody who's able to cut their feelings off. So they're able to kind of section off their feelings from their thoughts. I.e., I'm looking now at the situation in a more clear way, more analytical way with the Queen of Swords energy, and I'm no longer feeling the hurt that I did. Some of you might be feeling hurt with this Queen of Swords, but I also feel that some of you are actually feeling quite desensitized emotionally towards this ex of yours with the Queen of Swords energy. Some of you guys, your feelings might be also with the Queen of Swords that you'd like the truth, because the Queen of Swords asks questions. She's all Swords energy. The court cards, they represent investigators. They represent spies, okay, because they're intellectual suit. So it also might be for some of you guys, Scorpio, is that you'd like to ask some questions with the Queen of Swords energy. And for some of you guys, you'd probably also like to give the ex a very good telling off with that Queen of Swords energy showing you. But this ex is very balanced, I think, emotionally concerning you. There's a certain level of acceptance with the temperance energy. I don't think this ex wants to reconcile with the even though temperance can mean reconciliation, I think their feelings towards you, when you look at the word temperance, you can also reduce it down to the word tempered. So I think that their feelings towards you are very tempered. I feel that they're kind of easy about anything. There's no hate here with this person. This person just accepts the situation. But I do feel with Scorpio, for some of you, I wouldn't say that there is hate, because that would for me need to be the Queen of Swords reversed. She tends to feel very hurt, and through that hurt, when she's reversed, she tends to, you know, that tends to evolve into being some form of hate towards the ex. But I do feel that some of you guys are feeling hurt, but also if the majority were feeling rather analytical, emotionally desensitized, I think that you see the situation for what it really is. And some of you guys would like the truth with the Queen of Swords energy, because she wants the truth, but she also likes to ask questions. And some of you guys would like to ask the ex questions about what happened in the relationship, their behaviour perhaps. What were the strengths in the relationship when you were with this ex? It was a Seven of Wands, sorry. So I think the Seven of Wands is that you fought for this relationship with the Seven of Wands. I think for some of you guys, you really did defend perhaps this ex. You probably defended the ex against people who were shaking their fingers and saying, you shouldn't be with this ex. You shouldn't be with this person. Some of you guys really did put yourself out for this individual with the Seven of Wands energy, because the Seven of Wands energy is about trying to defend your territory, trying to defend the, you know, you look at these wands here, and this person has 7 wands, 6 wands here, all poking their wands. Can you see how he's fighting against this? So some of you guys, the strength in your relationship, you might have really stood up for this person. Perhaps that's why you want to ask this person a question, and perhaps that's why for some of you guys, you'd like the truth. I think that if it's, you know, if we take out the word desensitization in terms of your emotions with the Queen of Swords energy, then we're left with perhaps needing to ask the questions, feeling hurt, okay? With this Queen of Swords energy, looking for more clarity perhaps. And I think if that's any of those things concerning your feelings towards the ex, Scorpio, I think that this is because you really did put your neck out for the ex. You defended them against people who were telling you this person's no good, or this person, you shouldn't be with them because of blah blah blah. I think that you really were trying to fight for this relationship, and I think in a way both of you probably did, because that's the strength in a relationship. I think that either it's you who really fought for the relationship and fought for the ex against detractors, people who were putting you down and saying, really, you shouldn't be with this individual for whatever reason. And I think for some of you, it might have been both of you that really did fight to hold on to this relationship. What was the weakness in this relationship, though? The Eight of Swords. I think with the Eight of Swords energy showing here, there was a great deal of frustration probably within this Eight of Swords energy. And I'm going to get clarifiers on that. Why the Eight of Swords? I think there were self-limiting thoughts as well, perhaps on the ex's part to a certain extent. Judging by, I mean, I think for both of you this could be, because here some of you guys are feeling hurt and wanting questions, wanting answers to your questions with the Queen of Swords energy. And for some of you guys, you know, and this person here is okay with everything. I feel their feelings are kind of on a balance now. They've accepted the situation concerning you. But I think that whilst you defended this relationship, you fought for it against detractors. I think that the weakness was the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords also could be that even though you fought for the relationship, Scorpio, it might be with the Eight of Swords energy that there was some niggling doubts going on. Because the Eight of Swords also means doubt and fear and worry and negative thought patterns. So some of the weakness might be that even though you fought for this person, some of you guys might have still had some negative thought patterns going on about this individual. Some of you guys might have been feeling frustrated. I'll ask what the Eight of Swords is about, though. Let's try to see if we can get a clarifier on that area there. Universe Spirit, why was the weakness in the relationship the Eight of Swords? Why was the weakness in the relationship the Eight of Swords in 2 cards? Right, so there was a lot of hurt here. 5 of Cups energy showing up here. Hurting over the King of Pentacles. Or hurting over because this King of Pentacles... See, the King of Pentacles is looking across. Can you see how he's looking directly across? You might have been dealing with a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo individual for some of you guys. Okay, but this King of Pentacles has a shield. Can you see how he's got the pentacle right in front of him? He's also, though, with this pentacle offering something here. I think that this person offered material things to you, and this is not what you were after. Because what I'm noticing, I'm a tarot interactionist as well. Cups and Pentacles go very well together. They feed each other. Well, the Cups feed the earth. However, this is a card about sadness. It's not a particularly happy card. It's the 5 of Cups. It suggests somebody feels emotionally bereft. Great deal of disappointment. It's almost like this person offered sex. Pentacles also mean sex. They mean earthly desires. Okay, so when you get Pentacles, they're about food. Okay, they're about desires. They're about the earthly animal instincts. When you get Pentacles, it's about sex. So this king might have offered sex as a way to try and, you know, overcome your problems, for example. And I think that actually this Eight of Swords was frustration. Because I think that each time you and this individual probably argued, I mean, the strength is that you were trying to defend this relationship, trying to preserve it with that 7 of Wands energy. But the weakness is your frustration. Because every time this person upset you, they might have offered you clothing or money or sex or something of material value to try and overcome this. But this isn't what you wanted. You wanted something more from this individual. That's why you were frustrated. What is the likelihood of you guys coming back together in a relationship? The Page of Swords. I certainly feel that with this Page of Swords energy, there could be communication. The communication could be via text, via email. The Page of Swords is also a spy. So the likelihood for reconciliation, it might be that both of you or one of you is spying on each other. Or spying on the other, if that makes any sense. There's not so much a reconciliation here, but there could be some talk. There could be some communication coming in here with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords I often read about as a communicative card. This is about learning, but it's also about communication. So when you get the Page of Swords, this is a text message. Or it's an email. There could be an email or a text message. Or talk over Facebook, for example, between you and the ex. Or it's one of you that's spying on the other. But I don't necessarily see an out-and-out reconciliation. But I do see some form of communication that could take place in this relationship. What is the overall analysis of this ex? They're the 8 of Coins reversed. They're not putting the work in. 8 of Coins in the reverse means laziness. It means can't be bothered. Alright, I think that this person wants to get from A to Z. They don't necessarily want to have to put all... And this is why their strengths are the Fool. This X is showing as being the Fool. Their strengths are in new beginnings, taking risks in life with the Fool energy. That's what their strength is as a person. Their strength is, well, oh well, that didn't work out, on to the next. That's what the Fool is. The Fool doesn't have any type of emotional attachment to anything. And that's what their strength is. They're able to change the page. They're able to jump into something new at the drop of a hat like this. But the problem is their weaknesses is they tend to clash quite a bit. Their weaknesses in their, yeah, let's call it arrogance. Yeah, let's call the Five of Wands arrogance. Their weakness is their arrogance. Their weakness also might be with the Five of Wands energy showing here, that they might not be a particularly nice person. Because they might be quite a volatile individual. They might like to argue. They might like to cause trouble in relationships. Because this person, every time something runs smoothly, they might be like, this doesn't feel right. So it might be, the Five of Wands is also drama. So this person might like drama. That's their weakness. It might be that drama keeps them kind of interested in a relationship. So it might be their weakness is drama. Sorry about that, I was just converting another video. I think their weakness might be that they like drama in relationships, Five of Wands energy. They look to be in something new right now with the Two of Cups energy. There could be a text message, conversation perhaps with the Page of Swords energy showing here. I think that this would probably be more than likely electronic communication with the Page of Swords, or one of you is spying on the other, but I don't see a direct reconciliation with this Page of Swords energy showing here, because this ex can't be bothered. They hate putting work into things. They get bored. I think with the Eight of Coins in the reverse, it's about boredom as well. So this person tends to get bored very, very quickly, I think, with this Eight of Coins in the reverse. As a person, they like to think that they can get into a relationship and it can be everything. So the Eight of Coins in the reverse. In the upright, this is somebody who knows that they've got to put a lot of hard work into an effort, into a relationship in order to build it. But in the reverse, this person, it becomes like a Page of Coins in the reverse. They think that they can just snap their fingers and what they want appears. That's why their weakness is causing drama, Five of Wands energy. Because the weakness in your relationship was frustration. Every time this person upset you, they probably offered something of material value. Makeup, sex, for example. Money, clothing, food. King of Pentacles energy. They offered, can you see how he's got his hand held out to the person who's upset? This is you, Scorpio, cup energy. So every time you got upset, they thought that they could offer you something material. But what you wanted was love. What you wanted was feeling. What you wanted to know from this ex, Scorpio, is that they really meant it. But instead, they threw money, or they threw sex, or they threw material stuff at the relationship without knowing that what they needed to be throwing at the relationship was themselves. Something that they couldn't do because they're quite a lazy dude. What is the main block, though, to you guys reconciling? Judgment. I think a major decision has been made here with the Judgment energy. Because Judgment is all about making major decisions with the Judgment energy. And also with the Judgment energy, this can be about changes, quite radical changes. So it might be that your ex has gone through a radical change, or even you've gone through some radical change with the Faith. This is called Faith on this particular card, but this is actually, hang on, is this Judgment? No, it's not, it's the Hierophant, sorry. I'm not very good with the old Roman numerals, but this is a number 5. I do apologise, it's not Judgment, it's Hierophant energy. It's belief systems. Or it's commitment. This person looks like they're in a relationship, so it might be that because they're committed to this relationship here, or they're in a commitment with this relationship, though I can't see it because they look like a lazy bugger. However, you can get the Hierophant at any stage of a relationship. You can meet someone and within a week you can decide to commit to them, which this ex probably does. Looks like a narcissist to me, to be perfectly honest with you. So it might be this person's in a new relationship and they've decided to commit to it with the Hierophant energy, Faith. Okay, which is why there's a main blockage to them actually committing to you, though I'm doing see some form of communication or some form of research going on around this relationship from either party. I don't see a direct reconciliation, possibly because this person's decided to commit to another relationship. The other way to look at the Faith stroke Hierophant card on this particular deck is to say, well, this is about a belief system. This is about advice. So the other way to look at this is the major block to you guys really reconciling is it's either to do with the advice that's being received, either on your part or the ex's part, or this is to do with your own self-belief with the Hierophant energy. There could also be with the Hierophant energy Something to do with religious factors as well. Something to do with family factors as well, with this faith energy showing here that are standing in the way of you guys reconciling. If you did reconcile, what would be the overall outcome? Ten of Cups in the reverse. It's not a strong foundation at all. There'd be unhappiness here, and there'd probably result in a separation with that Ten of Cups in the reverse energy showing up here. Okay, and probably you'd be going round in circles as well, because the Ten of Cups reverse means a lack of completion. Okay, so something's not completing its cycle. Also, there's no soulmate energy here. It's a false soulmate, because Ten of Cups is also being with a soulmate, building a family with the soulmate. But in the reverse, there's no children. And even if there are children, there's still going to be a very unstable emotional foundation that you're building on with this individual. This will not work out with that Ten of Cups reversed if you were to reconcile, because I can see arguments, Ten of Cups in the reverse. I can see emotional instability, Ten of Cups in the reverse. I can see separation with the Ten of Cups in the reverse. I can see unhappiness with the Ten of Cups in the reverse showing up here. I can see segregation, Ten of Cups in the reverse, in this relationship. If this ex were to come back to you, Scorpio, what should you do? What's the advice? Well, keep your hands to yourself. Don't accept the proposal. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups, you can see on the Four of Cups here that this person, love is being offered, but they've got their hands firmly clasped. Look at other options. Three of Cups beneath. Don't accept this person's proposal. If they come back with the Ace of Cups, proposing the Ace of Cups, so you can see on this card, this man's hands are tied. And he's saying, actually, I don't think that this is a card of consideration. You can read the Four of Cups as consideration, but also you can show the Four of Cups as keeping your hands to yourself. Because there are other options. You have other options with the Three Cups here. Perhaps you need to look at other options. You can look at the proposal, but not necessarily accept it. The hands are closed. He's not got his hands out to take the cup. So I feel that this is saying that if the ex should come back with this Four of Cups energy, you should really be very, very cautious about accepting this person's proposal. Let's quickly do this reading again before we finish. This is how the ex feels about you. Right now the ex is showing as being in some form of a relationship, Two of Cups energy. Possibly it could be a new relationship, maybe they're just on the dating scene, or this is them getting to know someone that they feel a real emotional connection to. Their strength is in the Fool. Very easily walk away from old things that no longer serve them. They don't mind taking risks in love. They're quite happy to jump into new things, new relationships with the Fool energy. They have no particular attachment to anything or anyone. Their weaknesses is that they like drama, Five of Wands, and they don't like backing down from a fight. They often get into clashes with others, especially in terms of relationships, because they will not cooperate. They always feel that they're in the right with the Five of Wands energy. How they feel about you, I think that their feelings are very tempered, with the Temperance energy showing here. I think in a way they feel a certain sense of passivity towards you, Scorpio, with the Temperance energy. I think they've managed to balance out their emotions. How you feel about them, some of you guys might feel hurt still with the Queen of Swords, but mainly I think that some of you guys have desensitized yourself emotionally, and now you're looking at the relationship in a far more analytical way. Some of you guys would still like to ask questions from this ex, Queen of Swords, find out the truth. Some of you guys are very clear on who this person is. When you were together, the strengths were the Seven of Wands. The strengths were, I feel, defending this relationship, protecting this relationship against detractors. People who could see who this ex probably was before you could. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs. For some of you guys, the strengths were that you would protect this relationship at all costs. Defend the relationship at all costs. Fight for the relationship at all costs. Perhaps both of you fought to stay together. The weakness, however, I feel with frustration, the Eight of Swords energy. Feeling kind of in a little bit of a trap here with this Eight of Swords energy, especially a mental trap. Confusion. But I think more frustration. Because every time you got upset, this person would throw material stuff at you to soothe you. They throw money at you, food at you, clothes at you, sex at you, with this King of Pentacles energy showing here, because the Pentacles aren't just about money, they're about sex. They're about earthly pleasures, and this person will throw all of that stuff at you to try and temper the problems. But really what you wanted was their love, not their money, not their body all the time. What you wanted was their love. This is something that they couldn't provide to you with the King of Pentacles energy. What's the likelihood of a reconciliation? Page of Swords. I am seeing some form of text messaging, communication over email, text, Snapchat, perhaps Facebook, perhaps Instagram, that type of thing. Whatever it is that you communicate on, whatever it is, social media platform, perhaps I'm seeing communication over. If that's not the case, I'm seeing one of you kind of dipping in and seeing what the other person is up to, because you're spying, you're watching this person, or they're watching you. However, the overall analysis of the X is the Eight of Coins in the reverse. They're very lazy. They put very little effort into relationships. They think that they're just going to get everything. And that's why they show as their strengths as being the Fool. They're very good at taking leaps of faith. They're very good at taking risks in relationship. They have no affiliation to anything or anyone. Everything is a new day. Everyone is a new challenge. However, their weakness is they'll probably always find a reason to have an argument with the individual in the end, because they can't be bothered to put the work in. They want to get in a relationship and have it all hearts and flowers all at once. This sounds like a narcissist to me. The main blockage to having a relationship is the Hierophant. Either this person's in a relationship with someone that they've decided that they're going to try and commit to, with the Hierophant showing here, or it's to do with your own belief systems or their belief systems. It's also to do with what's been learned, because Hierophant's all to do with what we learn as people through experiences. So I feel that what's been learned during your time together is a major, major block to you guys coming together. So though I'm seeing some form of perhaps communication here or watching of each other, I don't think it will get to the stage of reconciliation. Because if you did reconcile, you'd end up as the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Very unhappy. Separation happening here. Ten of Cups in the reverse. Severance in the relationship. Arguments. Lack of emotional stability in the relationship, and therefore if the person were to come back, Scorpio, and ask for a second chance, it's best to do the Four of Cups. You can look at it, but you don't necessarily need to touch it. If this person comes back and offers you the Ace of Cups, you can look at it, but keep your hands firmly to yourself. Don't take what they have to offer to you, because you've probably learned exactly who they are when you were with them. They couldn't really show you love. They threw other things at you. Sex mainly for some of you guys, because this person probably doesn't know how to love overall. Alright, that's your reading, my darlings, for how your ex feels about you. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.